Muy buenas, ¿qué tal? Estamos aquí, volvemos en Vampyr y vamos a continuar donde lo dejamos. A ver, yo quería investigar un poquito esto, pero es que me jode mucho lo de que se me hayan puesto pochos los ciudadanos. Así que voy a... les voy a curar. Y como el juego me ha hecho la trampa esa de mierda y por su culpa me he jodido todos los... ¿Qué tengo que hacer? Ah, es verdad, vale. Lo que hoy voy a hacer va a ser ir a curar a todos, básicamente. ¿Esto qué es? Nuevo diálogo disponible con Doctor Swansea. Nuevo diálogo con Lady Ashbury. Lady... Sí, supongo que sí. Pues lo que voy a hacer es... es eso. Es ir a... donde los otros. Pero claro, ¿cuál es el puto camino? Voy a poner el marcador ahí de momento. Voy jodido de vida, lo cual no me hace ni puta gracia, pero bueno. Lo que ya digo, mi prioridad ahora mismo es curar a la peña. Pues como que no sé salir de aquí, ¿eh? Espera, las ratas las necesito. Bueno, os voy a hacer elipsis, ¿qué cojones, tío? Hasta que cure a la gente y luego ya seguir.
Is it true Sean Hampton saved your life?
Yeah. The sad saint grabbed my soggy ass and brought me back to the pier after I fell into the canal. I was a wreck back then.
Were you thankful for what he did for you?
Sean Hampton really acted like a saint that day. But I suppose I'm just another lost soul who doesn't deserve to be saved.
Goodbye, Mr.
Ah, espera, el contón, que había medio... Bueno, casi intento de asesinato.
Welcome back to...
Ah, eso también es verdad.
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed vigilantes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed, but I thought those Pre-Wen guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time you can bloody well go yourself.
I apologize, Doctor, but it's just that I prefer to avoid the law, its enforcers, and all manner of thugs in uniform.
Here is your booze. I hope it will appease your customers. Just try not to kill anyone with this poison of yours.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
You attempted murder. Give me some details.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time, a proud wet boot boy.
Hostia.
Why did you join the gang?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of the world shits on you?
So you were ordered to kill someone. What happened then?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw me. I gave up.
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing. He was having such a good time. I hated him for his bottomless appetite and easy life of easy pickings. And then something happened.
You've had a sad, violent, and lonely life, with no joy to speak of. You realized that you were living with nothing but sadness.
No, not really. I had friends and happiness in my life. It was more about just being pleased for the guy.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted murder, Tom.
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested. I paid my debt and I have nothing to hide.
So you mean your customers know about your sordid past?
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing to hide, and I don't judge. That's a relief for many round here.
Do you think prison changed you? Made you a better man?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I brought back is bad memories, scars, and an ugly tattoo of a blue turtle.
But do you feel cleansed of your sins?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again. Does that make me a better man? I don't know.
Hombre, yo creo que sí, ¿no?
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my roots are. This is where I want to help others and die, eventually.
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show, I don't see how it would change. Misery loves company, as they say.
Don't you feel threatened, staying in such a violent and criminal neighborhood?
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry anymore.
Goodbye, Mr.
Hablar con la chica me convendría.
So few
You
clients.
still working?
What with the epidemic, no one dares.
Sí.
Were you aware of Tom's past incarceration?
That's the first thing he told me when he offered me the job. He didn't want me hearing about his past from anyone else.
Did it surprise you to find out about it?
Not really. I was already aware of his reputation before I met him. That's why I came to the Turtle in the first place.
Most people would have run away because of that.
Not me. I thought a man like him could give me stability, you know? At least to some degree. And I wasn't mistaken.
Tell me, Sabrina, do you really believe Tom has renounced his life of crime?
He proves it to me every day he tells the truth. Tom Watts is a good man. One of the best.
And you don't think he might fall back into his sordid ways?
We can all do terrible things, Dr. Reed. And we never know what we're really capable of until it's too late.
Goodbye, Miss Kevin.
Just another lost orphan.
Pues ahora marco... Ah, claro, sí, lo tengo bien marcado. Espera, con esta tenía que hablar para decirle... O ya se lo dije. Ah, no, no se lo dije.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind.
Esto ya está. Ah, vale.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here.
Ha visto a un vampiro acabar con su presa. Hostias.
In London.
Yes, and it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
I'll leave you, Mistress.
It is good to see you again, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm better than one might expect, Lady Ashbury. Dr. Swansea has asked me to investigate the recent disturbances in the hospital, caused by skulls.
Really? What do you mean?
Igual no debería decírselo eso, ¿eh?
There is something ominous closing around me, Lady Ashbury. Something spies upon me from the shadows. Something cruel and wicked.
Whatever do you mean, Jonathan?
If Sean Hampton and Harriet were not the guilty parties, then who? I saw the bodies and the blood.
Your rebirth has not gone unnoticed, Jonathan. Be extremely careful. If you get in the way of an immortal's plans...
Do you suspect someone?
I don't know, Jonathan. I steer clear of vampire politics, especially whilst hunters roam the city's streets.
I discovered the most intriguing skull. An elderly woman
Pero no le digas dónde está por si acaso, tío.
And a man who helps them remain hidden in London.
Old Bridget. Peculiar name, I've never heard of her.
According to old Bridget, skulls can lead a peaceful existence like us. They are even able to nourish themselves by feeding on corpses and the flesh of the dead.
How vile. Please, Jonathan, let's change the subject.
Skulls of London have gone into hiding. Both mortals and immortals plot their extermination.
Yes. Skulls are the orphans of the Vampire Society. They are the shame of their genitors. A disgrace to the vampire that created them.
Goodbye for now, my lady.
Vale, y tenía también que hablar con... Bueno, no tengo por qué hacerlo, pero quiero decir, tenía una conversación también con el Dr. Swansea.
Jonathan, at last. I've been worried sick. Have you solved the case of our poor Sean Hampton?
Don't worry, Edgar. The reputation of Pembroke Hospital is secure. Sean Hampton was not the guilty party.
Is that true? Oh, good news. Good news indeed.
I found Harriet Jones. She's much the same old, embittered woman she was, only she's been made a skull. Her transformation did not go well.
Incredible. Why not bring her
No.
here? We could
Mejor
learn
no.
so much by studying her condition. It would be fascinating.
I doubt that. She can barely move. Perhaps we could learn more about the degeneration of skulls.
Perhaps. But she could also belong to a new species. We know so little of the laws that dictate vampire reproduction.
Were there any studies made by your order on the subject?
Not that I'm aware of. I will transmit your discovery to the Brotherhood's primate. He will be delighted.
What do you know of the Ascalon Club?
Not as much as I would like. There have always been rumors about a secret society of vampires operating in the interests of the British Empire, though I've never met a member.
I crossed paths with one, a terrifying creature going by the name of Fergal. He was sent by the Ascalon Club to exterminate the skulls of the East End.
By the stole, Jonathan. If vampires are eliminating their own progeny, then dark times are upon us. Darker than I've ever witnessed.
Do you think Lady Ashbury would know of them?
Jonathan, our beloved lady is not one for social dalliances, nor the assemblies of dark orders. She's a woman of superior taste and selective acquaintance.
Does the name Old Bridget ring any bells?
I've never heard of her. Why? A patient of ours? I must confess, I don't know them all.
No, it's just someone I recently met. A fascinating woman.
La verdad es que sí.
I had thought that perhaps...
By the stole, Jonathan, you've met another vampire. I would appreciate an introduction, if that's the case.
Creo que mejor no, ¿eh?
A pleasure as always, Edgar.
Vale, pues. O sea que no todos los Skulls son malos. Al igual que no todos los humanos son buenos. Así que... Espera, tenía un nuevo nivel de... Para comerme gente, ¿no? Nivel 4... ¡Ah, tengo nivel 3! ¡Hijos de puta! ¡Hijos de puta! Y tú, me faltan 2 pistas todavía, tronco. Bueno, de estos también me faltan bastante. ¿Cuáles son los hijos de puta estos dos? O sea... Ah, este no lo he curado. Hay que joderse. No, migraña, no, el otro. ¿Qué está haciendo? ¿Qué está haciendo que le tengo que vigilar? ¿Y dónde está el otro? Ah, ahí. ¿Cómo les vigilo y por dónde? Por aquí. Movida.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
Look, we survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best. Fuck the war, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the war. Fuck them all.
Son pareja. Curioso. Vamos a darles un susto. Vamos a hablar con ellos, básicamente. ¡Abrid la puerta, hijos de puta!
Can't understand why you still care for this bloody
It's locked.
Oye, no, en serio, abridme la puerta que aún no la tengo que curar y quiero hablar con vosotros. Puto Clay Cox, de verdad. Estoy por matarle aunque no consiga todas las pistas, tío. Pero porque deje de dar por culo, solamente ya. ¿Me queréis abrir la puerta? Y panda de hijos de puta.
I cannot enter.
Gracias. A ver, tú, caraculo.
Hello again, Mr. Blythe.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor.
Ah, vale.
We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
Vale, pues a ver. Ah, que con este no he hablado nada.
Do you
Bueno,
need...
Afraid so.
Sí, taca, venga, estamos para ti.
You're working at the
Enfermedades,
Pembroke Hospital, aren't you?
Vale, bueno, a ver.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... Well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we're in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
I fought in France too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, I never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Hostia, chaval. Hostia.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight.
Hostia, tío.
Take care of yourself.
Hostia, qué chungo. Usted.
We were supposed to be.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher. Do you feel any better now?
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
No sé cómo por la cámara, es que está como muy... A la venga, tomar por culo.
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a job?
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Why did you run? What was the reason for your argument?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't stand being closed in. Makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Sin recibir tratamiento.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about is their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room.
Podemos atender las tiendas de fuera, tío.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by
está.
itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
As a soldier, you're expected to kill the enemy to survive. Guilt is a powerful emotion and could lead to feelings of suffocation and oppression.
My God, you're so wrong. Believe me, I would kill if it happened again. Violence is part of who I am.
Mierda. Digo, quedó sepultado, supo. Ah, digo, perdido 2? No, no, no. Están todos curándose, sí.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck them all.
Pues esto ya estaría, ¿no? Pregunta.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
Vale. Y ahora tengo que ir hasta... Joder, hasta estos. Vale. He usado una guía como compensación por lo del juego. Para ver dónde está la receta de las otras enfermedades. Eso es trampa. Y lo que me ha hecho el juego ayer. Bueno, ayer. Yo lo grabé ayer. Creo, o antes de ayer. No me acuerdo. Pero lo que me hizo el juego con el cementerio también es trampa. Así que se jodan. ¿No dicen combate el fuego con el fuego? Pues ya está. A ver, de un cadáver lo tengo que coger. Supone que aquí... Una fórmula extraña. Perfectísimo. Quito esto y vamos para allá. Aquí. Perfecto. Entonces... Neuralgia y migraña. Carta arrugada. Estoy harta de tus estupideces, Clay. ¿Qué diablos has hecho? Por los muelles no dejan de hablar de cómo mi marido ha destripado un mocoso. ¿Cuántas veces tengo que decirte que contes hasta 20 antes de sacar la navaja? ¿Cómo esperas que el negocio vaya bien y la gente obedezca si lo primero que haces cuando alguien te planta cara es cargártelo? Ahora dicen que algunos de sus familiares te están buscando. Uno de ellos ha prometido acabar contigo. No vuelvas a casa esta noche. He visto un grupo de hombres patrullando por las calles. Debe de ser algún tipo de milicia comunista o algo así que han enviado a arrestarte. Escóndete unos días en un lugar seguro. Quizás podrías ir al hospital o a Whitechapel. Haz algo útil por una vez en tu vida y comprueba si podríamos trasladar nuestro negocio a otra zona. Cuando la situación se calme, enviaré a alguien de la banda para que sepas que puedes volver. Beduina. ¡Nueva pista! Uno de los líderes tras su recuperación. Me queda una. Solo una. Y ya eres mi cena. Ah, espera un momento. Claro.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife.
Ya, si es que es uno para otro,
That
tío.
knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
¿Cómo no? Tengo todo. Tengo todo. Uy, Clay, que tienes los días contados.
Do you want it back?
Ay,
I
Dios
don't
mío.
need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox. I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'd be surprised if you managed to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
A lucky charm.
Ah, tengo que encontrar el cuchillo
I never
primero
would have
antes de
taken
matarlo,
you
joder.
as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Ay, imbécil. ¿Digo qué? Sí, imbécil. Buah, qué bien me va a sentar, qué bien me va a sentar matar al puto Clay Cox, por fin. Aquí abajo. Este primero, que es débil a cuerpo a cuerpo. ¡Hijo puta! ¡Hijo puta! ¡Oh! Cabrón. ¡Cuchillo! ¡Cuchillo!
This must be Clay Cox's knife.
¡Cuchillo!
Fine blade. No wonder he wants it back.
Pues me lo voy a quedar yo. Bueno, no, se lo voy a devolver. Se lo voy a devolver. Y luego ya me lo cargo. ¡No! ¡La puta farola! Soy el del desfile de las Fuerzas Armadas. ¡La puta farola! ¿Quién la ha dejado ahí? Estado estable. Ah, bueno, claro, porque no he descansado y tal, efectivamente. Estás recuperándote, ¿no? Ah, bueno, perdón. No quiero saltarlo.
Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Por ahora. Por ahora vas a durar una noche, compañero. Investigación superada. Buah. Voy a descansar y ceno. ¡Ay, espera! ¡Mierda! ¡Se me ha olvidado! ¿Esto dónde es? ¿En el cementerio? Qué pereza. Esto. ¿Qué dices, chaval? Cuando me toque volver aquí o cuando me toque volver por aquí, pues hago las otras, tío. Pero es que eso... Hostia, qué pereza, tronco. Investigaciones. Y aquí están todas las investigaciones del distrito hechas. Pues a ver, convence a... Bueno. Descansamos. Confirmamos. Retrato de un santo apenado. Si alguna vez han vivido cerca de los muelles de East End, seguro que saben quién es St. Patrick Hampton. Si no, seguro que han oído hablar de él. Su nombre está empezando a extenderse por todos los rincones de la capital y su canción está llena de esperanza. Sin es el humilde fundador del refugio Hampton, un establecimiento que construyó con nada más que sus propias manos y sus creencias, perdón. El edificio, el almacén abandonado de la familia Dawson donó, haciéndonos una vez más partícipes de su generosidad, fue renovado y transformado en el que hoy en día se ha convertido en el refugio más famoso de Londres. Los pobres y los hambrientos son bienvenidos bajo su techo, comparten comida, cuidados y plegarias. Hampton vivió una vida poco o nada acomodada, pero las dificultades que encontró en su camino no deformaron ni mutilaron su profunda confianza en el Señor. Más bien todo lo contrario, este hombre de fe desarrolló una fuerte empatía a costa de los tormentos sufridos por la pobreza. En los muelles ya es conocido el afecto que siente por el prójimo. Somos muchos los que hemos visto así sufrir por una guerra enfermiza, un huérfano o una madre doliente. Es así como se ganó el sobrenombre del Santo Penado del East End. Hampton es un personaje tan respetado que la gente continúa acudiendo a su refugio cada noche, incluso después de lo que el Santo Penado contrajese una misteriosa enfermedad que lo obliga a reposar y a estar separado de su rebaño. Mientras en otras partes de Londres la gente retrocede cuando ve a alguien toser en público, muchos hombres y mujeres no tienen ningún problema en comer y dormir en el refugio Hampton, el lugar más seguro de los muelles del East End. El edificio no está en las mejores condiciones, su olor puede resultar insoportable para las narices más delicadas, pero la esperanza y el cariño... ¿Qué? ¿La esperanza y el cariño? ¿Qué? Me falta este, que no he empeorado, menos mal. Cefalea. 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 Resfriado, resfriado.
3 de cefalea, por favor, para llevar.
Pues lo creo. Ah, no, cefalea. Tenía una. Creo dos. Creo hay un par. ¿Eh? Ah, porque tengo lo de los carteles. Vale, vale. Claycox. Clay, ven, anda, que te tengo que contar un secreto que te vas a partir. Ven aquí, Clay. Acompáñame, querido. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevo queriendo hacer esto? A cenar.
I killed, extorted, stole. Now I die. Fuck it. I live the way I wanted.
Sufrirá las consecuencias de tener un cabrón menos. ¿Esto cómo lo escondo tú? No lo escondo. Oh, yeah, sí señor, sí señor, sí señor. No puedo cargarme a Chadana, ¿no? No, qué pena, tío. A ver... Ah, claro, que tengo que curar a la gente, es verdad. No. ¡No! ¡Señora!
Good evening. Do you recall?
My condition.
Well,
Thank you, Doctor.
I'll leave you.
Porque... ¡Ay, vaya! ¡Capachao! ¡Hostia, que te sale! ¡LOL! Kelly Cox, 30 años, varón, un despojo sin ninguna consideración por otros seres humanos, exceptuando quizá a su esposa Edwina. Fue líder de los Whitbot Boys, una poderosa banda de los anárquicos muelles del East End. Las reglas impuestas por la banda solo estaban pensadas para los forasteros, y el propio señor Cox concibió gran parte del mercado negro que impera ahora en el barrio. Tan duro como egoísta, el señor Cox parecía considerar a todos los humanos como presas, enemigos o herramientas. Consideraba a Edwina como su homóloga femenina, por eso la quiero matar. Y fue la única mujer a la que respetó jamás, quizá debido a que fue la única que se atrevió a hacerle frente. Sin embargo, esta no apareció en sus últimos pensamientos, puesto que el señor Cox estaba demasiado ocupado maldiciendo a todo el mundo mientras lo asesinaba. A ver, entonces... Sí, la principal, para allá. Porque aquí... No lo voy a hacer ahora, pero lo voy a dejar ahí. Y vamos a la puta principal de una puta vez. Joder.
Not a safe place. You get them weapons ready! Find one! It's an each! Kill it!
¿Cómo que estado estable? ¿Qué dices? ¿Que es un distrito nuevo, chaval? Pues... creo que lo voy a dejar aquí. Solo hasta cuando haya gente con la que hablar. Ahí lo dejaré, porque entonces será el episodio que viene todo a hablar con la gente. Todo. ¿Dónde lleva este rastro de sangre? Pues a ver, de momento viene por aquí.
Stop right now! Last lead! Crack the lead, boys!
Espera, estoy haciendo la principal. No, ¿verdad? Una rosa.
I have this thirst for blood.
Lleva hasta aquí. Club de los vampiros. ¿Creéis que los vampiros se ocultan en lugares oscuros y los tugurios de Londres? No, se ocultan en los mejores clubs y en las elegantes casas del West End. Sea ciencia cierta que algunos de ellos controlan el imperio en secreto, tienen un club, tienen personajes públicos, organizan bailes y fiestas elegantes. Aspiran a controlar el país y nuestros destinos. Debemos revelar su verdadera naturaleza, enemigos codiciosos de la humanidad, llegados a este mundo para arrastrarnos a todos hacia la eterna oscuridad del infierno. Los conocéis pero no os atrevéis a pronunciar sus nombres, pero yo lo haré muy pronto y todo Londres conocerá el nombre del Club de los Vampiros. ¿Por qué no lo dice ya? O sea, te quiero decir, ¿quieres desacreditar vampiros? Pues será próximamente. Hombre, coño, dilo ya. No, no sé. A ver, ha pasado por el refugio el vampiro chungo este.
I cannot enter.
Pues nada, pues hasta aquí. Por lo menos me ayudó a descubrir un refugio, ¿sabes? No está nada mal.
"29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?"
Ah, ahora tengo que seguir el rastro de
There's been
sangre.
a fight here.
Joder, lo del espejo, tío, me mata, macho. Que se refleje, pero encima mal. ¿Qué coño tengo que ir? por fuera.
This window was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could have done that?
Sigo el rastro.
So much blood. Whoever was killed got dried out.
Tendría que mejorar lo de la autofagia. Para curarme, tío. Estos no estaban antes, ¿eh?
You're surprising. Occasionally.
What? Eso no estaba antes. Muere ya, coño. No me acordaba del bastón. Sabía que eran duros, pero no me acordaba del porqué. Hostia puta, tío. Chaval.
Only a golden watch in her pockets.
Ah, pero creía que me iba a decir algo del reloj.
Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out.
Pero yo no quería robarla, joder.
This is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin.
What the fuck?
Someone is targeting my family. The marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire.
Hombre, sí, creo que un perro no lo ha hecho.
I see you.
Right then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter,
Vale, eso me ha dado bastante miedo, ¿eh? No lo voy a negar. Eso me ha acojonado bastante, tío.
This is
Digo, me cago en tu puta madre. Hija de puta. Hola. Necesito cosas de calidad azul para mejorar más el arma.
Jonathan.
Cago en
What was that?
tu puta madre. ¡Ahí! ¡Ahí está! ¡Hija de puta!
I won't let you escape.
Pero esto, ¿dónde estoy? Espera. Espera. No sé, tío, no sé. No sé. Cojones.
Very fast, but I'll catch you.
¿Cementerio? Espera, ¿estoy por el cementerio? Voy a marcar lo de la señora.
They've all been butchered.
Hostia. Mira, ahí ya dejo la puta flor otra vez. Cojones. Joder.
I can still sense a presence.
No, ya, me imagino. Si es a ello, a lo que estoy yendo, ¿no? Espera, voy a hacer primero lo de la señora esta, que no sé qué coño hace aquí. ¿A que estoy yendo a la principal? No sé. Puede ser, parece. Señora, lárguese de aquí cagando hostias, hágame el favor.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Vamos a hablar, claro que sí.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Porque no soy un cabrón, no sé.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
To be honest, I don't know. Please forgive me if I've upset you. We must all honor our departed loved ones in our own way.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Resfriado tengo.
How do you feel?
I don't...
Tengo,
You
sí.
should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Perfecto, tío, perfecto. Pues ya está, ¿no? Chaito.
Goodbye for now.
Vale. Sigue a la sombra. Enfréntate al vampiro misterioso.
Help! You! What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
¿Qué?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
Oh, so that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular, that of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good.
Ah, ¿no ha matado a madre?
Domination.
Vale, a ver. Bueno, te calmas, hija de puta. Que fue un accidente, ¿vale? Es muy dura, ¿no? Y encima tiene resistencia cuerpo a cuerpo, ¿sabes? Fíjate, ¿qué es esto? Vale, necesito la escopeta, tío. Espero que tenga bastantes balas. 0 de 8. Puedo dispararlo un total de 4 veces, tío. ¿Cómo? ¿Perdón?
In the name of Christ!
Assassin!
Bueno, con la escopeta no va tan mal, la verdad, ¿eh?
You've spared the precious nurse Crane, but not your own Mary.
Come to me, Jonathan.
Oh, piensa, tío, piensa.
Give me your blood, priest.
¿Qué dices?
Final thoughts are just to die for.
¿Pero cómo es tan hija de puta?
What have you done?
¡Oh, lolo! Hostia, que quita un montón eso, chacho. Que fue un accidente, coño. Buah, tío. Igual que tu nacimiento, también fue un accidente. Piensa, tío. ¿Qué pudo hacer? Pero si es que quita un montón, tronco. Pero si es que esto no es normal, tío.
Rest in peace, monster.
Qué pena que no se puedan hacer parries, tío. Porque no deja de atacar, pero es lenta, ¿sabes? Si se pudieran hacer parries, sería una puta maravilla. La vida, el tema de la vida que... Tengo que ponerme... Tengo que ponerme por cojones esto.
Kinslayer! Rest in peace, monster.
Hostia, pero que es que... Que no, que esto no está bien. Que es demasiado...
Come to me, Jonathan.
Lo bueno es que aparezco en el sitio, tío. Donde me he transformado. ¡Hola, hola! Lo que me evita quedarme al lado suyo. ¡Hija de puta! Hija de puta, tío. ¡No! ¡No! Es que necesito ver, tío, para poder huir. Vale, se pasa un ratillo. Ahí puedo aprovechar para luchar. Vale, ahora desmarca porque tienes que huir. Vale, la complicación es que quita un daño bastante ridículo. ¡Tira, tira! ¡Pírate! No. Eso es con lo que me mató antes. Ahora es más rápida.
Come to me, Jonathan.
¡Que la desmarques, joder! Vale, yo creo... Ah, no, sigue saliendo... Las flores de sangre esas de mierda, tío. Ya no, ¿no? No, ya no. ¡Hostia! Pues igual sí, ¿eh? Hija de puta. Dame tu puta sangre. Bestia. Bien.
What have you done?
Está quieta. Ah, digo. Déjate.
Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Me la llevo a casa, para el almuerzo. Perdón. Pero un poco hija de puta, ¿eh? Dice, acabaré con la adorable jovencita pelirroja. Digo, pues ella es una vampiresa tope tocha de hace la hostia de años. Me gustaría ver cómo lo intentas. Unas noches más tarde. Hostia, lo voy a dejar ya aquí, ¿eh? Que llevo un ratillo.
Blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come.
Joder.
I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Eso sí. Oh. Encuentra el origen de la epidemia. Vale. Invitación de Lady Ashbury. Estimado Dr. Reed, espero que lea pronto la carta que le envío, pues debo hablar con usted lo antes posible. La situación avanza rápidamente en el West End y estoy convencido de que corremos un grave peligro. La guardia de Priven ha dado comienzo a su gran cacería en Londres. Llevan unas noches buscando activamente econs y matando a los que consiguen localizar. Lord Redgrave, presidente del Club Ascalon, se ha puesto en contacto conmigo. Quiere reunirse con usted de inmediato. ¿Qué dices? Puede venir a mi mansión cuando guste. Debemos hablar del tema. Junto a esta carta le envío un pase oficial que le permitirá pasar cualquier barricada o control de la zona de cuarentena de la ciudad. Habla con Lady Ashbury. Oye, ¿la planta qué? O sea, hola. Pues creo que voy a descansar y lo voy a dejar aquí. La noche siguiente. 1/8, otra vez. Aquí... Aquí nada, ¿no? No. Ahí ni puta idea. Vale, aquí hay varios que se han puesto un poco pochos, ¿eh? Grave. Joder. Pues ya por ahí tendré que ir. Bueno, pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Espero que os haya gustado. ¿A esto es cuánto? 5, tío. Y este 4. Estos 2 vendrían bien para la cena también. Y este, pero me falta una pista. Pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Espero que os haya gustado. Muchas gracias. Y hasta luego.